Hi, I'm Tyler. Today we're going to be going over consumer and producer surplus in open and closed economies and how they both affect it. Alright, so right here we just have a general closed economy, just for the market for a good, price, quantity, supply, demand. So what are the surpluses here? So producer surplus is this triangle down here, and consumer surplus is this triangle up here. I'm going to call this A. I'm not going to label this quite yet because we're going to be changing it. So this is a closed economy. So now let's say that the economy basically opens up, and we'll take the world price for this good, and let's say that the world price is lower than the domestic price. So I'm going to just label this one PD. It's the domestic price just in the country. And let's say that the world price is lower. So this is the world price. And then you can, some people use this and some don't, but you can think of this as a supply world basically increasing, so there's a greater supply for this good as opposed to just in the normal economy, so that's why the price decreases. Anyways, so now the price is lower, and so what happens here is that this is the quantity that the buyers buy, so this goes up, and the price goes down obviously, but this is the quantity that the sellers sell, essentially, in this economy. So the sellers sell this much, and the buyers buy this much, so it follows that this much is imported. That's the import quantity, essentially. Alright, so anyways, now we know that's all happened, so what happens to this surplus? Alright, so for an overview of what exactly happened here, it can get kind of confusing with the letters. So consumer surplus used to be A, and then the economy opened, and now it's A plus B plus C plus D. So it got bigger. Consumers definitely got better off here. Producer surplus used to be B plus E, but now once we open the economy, it's just E. So to analyze exactly what happens here, the change in consumer surplus is plus B plus C plus D. And then the change in producer surplus is minus B. So how we find out the net welfare for this country as a whole as a result of opening the economy, we add these two together and see what happens. So net welfare, change in net welfare, you could call it, is equal to the change in consumer surplus plus the change in producer surplus. So in this case, change in consumer surplus is plus B, plus C, plus D, and the change in producer surplus is minus B. So if you add these two together, you get the change in net welfare equals plus C and plus D. So even though producers were made worse off by this change, the consumers were made so much more better off that it leaves the economy better off. So even though one person isn't made better, the producers here, the economy as a whole benefits from opening the trade. So essentially what this change in net welfare is, you can find it that way, or you can look and see what surplus is in this economy that wasn't in it before, and then in this case it's this C and D. This wasn't involved before, but now it's part of consumer surplus, and therefore the economy is surplus. So this is the change as a result of opening the economy. Alright, so hopefully this makes a little more sense, the effects of an economy opening itself and becoming an importer. Consumers get better off, producers get worse off, but as a whole, the economy is better off. Alright, so hopefully that makes a little more sense about what happens when a country opens its economy and becomes an importer of a good. Consumers get better off, producers get worse off, but the economy as a whole is better off. There's more surplus as a result of the change. So if this doesn't make sense, feel free to leave a comment, and thank you.